he was saying that he wants to play more like Dennis Schroder in the context of he was watching the playoffs and just the way he was able to dissect defenses. What were your takeaways with Jaden Ivey reflecting of watching Dennis Schroder in the playoffs and him saying he wants to play like Dennis this upcoming season?
Yeah, Marcus Sasser is somebody I talked to about that as well. Dennis Schroder's presence last year was huge for this team. Not just for the the winning result and adding another body, but for guys like Sasser and Ivy to kind of watch that late game execution or that floor general execution with the second unit to see how he was able to set guys up, because he was another one of those guys. So when you're talking about Beasley having that space to get his shot, Schroeder was a guy that was getting him those looks, and they obviously had a connection from playing with each other for so long in different teams. And Ivy said he really took a lot of note to that. He said he understood his patience with the ball, the ability to kind of anticipate plays and defenders and what they're going to do. He said he learned a lot of that from Schroeder and things that you can kind of pick apart and, anticipate while you're setting up an offense half court. And then even when he would pick up guys like Jalen Brunson full court, like picking up star players full court and playing defense, intentionally throughout the game when he could. Those are the kind of things that led him the opportunity to help close games next to Cade Cunningham, where he was bringing the ball up and Cade would play off ball to him a little bit at times. Like, that was a bit of the versatility that we were just talking about. And having the veteran penmanship of a guy like Schroeder, having two young guys to learn from, one who's injured and one who's not really playing a whole lot, but was really getting a lot of opportunity towards the second half of the season. You saw what his effect was. You saw how much better Sasser was learning and playing next to or from behind with Schroeder, in his ear. I loved it. I thought it was really, really important to hear that because, granted, I think Sacramento's getting a good player, but the impact that he was able to bring to the Pistons while he was here last season for that playoff run was spectacular.
Yeah, I mean, he won us the playoff game just with his shooting alone. But I mean, I was really encouraged to hear Ivy saying, like, I want to play like that because Dennis isn't a lockdown defender by any means, but he's a pest. I think Marcus Sasser could really kind of play like that pest defensive role of just fighting over the top of screens, just being irritant. I think Jaden Ivey can too. I do think we saw a stride from Jaden Ivey defensively. There were games where he actually hurt his foot on one of the games that I was just like so happy, and then we didn't see him for a week. But I mean, I was really just happy to hear that. Like, I want to play like Dennis because Dennis is a really good player. Whether people want to, they attribute Dennis with not taking the Lakers bag, which was probably kind of smart on his part because why would you want to play in LA paying those taxes? It's not as much money as you think it is.
Right.
But really happy for Jaden Ivey, and I know he's excited to be out there. I mean, he's like, I'm looking forward to that first preseason game just to get out there. And like clips that the Pistons are putting out, he looks faster if it's somehow possible after the break. Like, the rehab went really well. But I mean, I'm excited to see him play because I haven't seen him in 9 months, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. He said, Trey just said there's no restrictions to his game. He looks confident, definitely looks bigger and stronger. And that's a big point that I like to talk about when people grill him on his defense and talk about some of his deficiencies. Even if he isn't the best defender on the team, one, he's going to have a SAR on the lineup now, so he's not going to have to be one of the primary, defenders against, one of the better wings or points on the opposing team. That's not going to be his responsibility. He's going to have to now just play passing lanes and play discipline off ball, which we saw him be able to do against team. I think the Pacers early in the season, he had a couple picks. The Sixers, I think one of the best games he had early in the year was when he played against the Sixers. He was able to create a lot of transition looks. And again, even on ball, I'm not a huge analytic number guy. I watch with the eye test. I'm cool with it being like a point of emphasis, but it's not the end all be all to me. So when people talk about what his analytic numbers were for his defense, I don't care. I know what I saw with him. And teams were not like on their drawing board saying, where's Jaden Ivey? How do we hunt him out and pick on him? He's 6'5", like looking like he's almost 220 now at this point. You're not hunting out a guy like that in the backcourt. It's just not happening. So again, I think he can be disciplined. I think he understood, learning and watching from a guy like Schroder pick up from, 92 feet and, playing passing lanes as well. And do it without fouling as well, which is something really the whole team kind of needs to start to learn and soak up. I like Sasser too with the mention too, because I think a guy like just being a pest from a guy